Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, while Bitcoin is still rejecting from this critical resistance, the price of Bitcoin is now bouncing from oversold territories here in the short term. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment, alongside Ethereum now bouncing from this critical line of support and also flashing an oversold signal, alongside Solana also playing out the same oversold signal here in the short term. So I'll be talking about all of that and so much more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and right now the super trend indicator on the 4-day time frame is currently sitting in the green, which is indicating a larger bullish trend here on the larger time frames. And if we're looking at the 2-day Bitcoin chart, technically speaking, we're still seeing bullish price structure here on the larger time frames, which is, for example, breaking out above key resistance and forming higher lows and higher highs on the price chart. All of that is bullish price structure, which is what we've been seeing over recent weeks. So despite what happens in the short term on smaller time frames, when we're zooming out, looking at the bigger picture, technically speaking, things are looking more bullish as of right now on the larger time frames. But if we're taking a look at the daily Bitcoin chart, we can still obviously see the price struggle quite a lot around this area of resistance right here, which is previously where we have found a lot of resistance in the past at around March all the way through to June. We previously found a lot of resistance in this price range, and that's sitting in between around 72,000 to 74,000. And so obviously, as I've been warning about for weeks now on the channel, expect strong resistance in that price range. That's really the final area of resistance before new all-time highs. So obviously, once we can eventually see a confirmed breakout above 74,000, that will be extremely bullish for the price of Bitcoin. So for now, that is still acting as resistance, so pay attention to that area on the price chart. And as for support, we do have this area of support in between around 66.7k to 68.3k based on previous resistance becoming new support, and also based on the VPVR indicator. And we also have a bit of support at around 69,500 approximately based on this previous high, currently acting as new support. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 1-hour Bitcoin chart, obviously, as I've been saying over the last half a week or so, we have been playing out this short-term bearish divergence, which so far has been playing out pretty much exactly as expected in the form of a short-term cool-off, basically a bit of a pullback in the short term in the price of Bitcoin, which has helped to reset the RSI all the way to the downside, especially here on the 1-hour time frame. We've reset from overbought territories to now oversold territories, obviously the opposite to an overbought signal. So an overbought signal, as I said back here, tells us that we're starting to run out of room to the upside, and we're due to see a bit of a cool off very soon, so a break from all of the bullish trend. But an oversold signal is the opposite. We've already seen a bunch of bearish price action in the short term, and we're now due to see a break or a relief from all of this bearish price action in the form of most likely a slight bounce, a slight bullish relief, or at least some choppy sideways price action. So a bit of a break from all of this bearish price action, potentially for the next 1 or 2 days, just in the short term, because remember, this is only on the 1-hour time frame. But despite what happens on the smaller time frames, when we're zooming out, looking at the bigger picture, things are still looking bullish on the larger time frames, especially while the price of Bitcoin is still remaining above this line on the price chart, sitting at approximately $65,000. And as always, if you want to trade these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I take most of my trades over on Bybit, so I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a 500 USDT position airdrop. So basically a free $500 trade as your first trade over on Bybit, but that is only available to you if you actually use that link below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit, or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there's also Bitnex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitnex, which means if you're in the US or the UK, for example, or another country where you might not be able to access Bybit, you can access Bitnex. I'll also leave a link to Bitnex down below this video, and if you use that link, you can get up to a 5.5k deposit bonus, and only if you use that link, you can get an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the Bitnex exchange forever. But that is only if you use the link below this video to make your Bitnex account. And so as another option out there, other than Bybit, one that you can access from the US, for example, there's Bitnex, links down below if you want to claim those extra bonuses. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map here on the 2-week time frame, looking at the last 2 weeks worth of price action, honestly, we don't really have any significant areas of liquidity, at least immediately here in the short term, because previously we played out a major short squeeze, wiping out a lot of liquidity. And since then, we haven't really seen a lot of new traders really enter into the market, entering with major positions. And so we do have a small amount of liquidity at around 68,000 and just above 68,000. And we have a small amount of liquidity also at around 73,500, give or take. But as I said over the last 1 to 2 videos here on the channel, we have a major area of liquidity at around 74,000 and just above 74,000, which is more visible when you're zooming out on this liquidation heat map, looking at the last 1 year worth of price action, which I talked about in my last 1 to 2 videos here on the channel. And other than that, we also have a decent amount of liquidity closer towards around 65,000 to 65.2k approximately. But obviously between now and then, we also have support along the way down where the price could also likely bounce at if we were to see a bit more of a pullback. But remember, right now in the short term, we are now playing out this oversold signal, which means we're due to see a bit of a relief, a bit of a break from all of this bearish price action, at least in the short term, talking about a matter of hours or days. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, and honestly, not much has changed here on this time frame over the last 1 day. So getting straight into the 12-hour time frame, and right now the price of ETH is indeed holding above this ascending line of support, at least as of recording this video, which is sitting at around 2460. And we also have this area of support right here based on previous resistance and support, now acting as new support again, and that's sitting in between around 2440 to 2475. So that is the support to pay attention to. And at least as of recording this video, once again, we're currently bouncing from this level, which is a good thing to see, at least in the short term. But if we were to see a break back below around 2440, so breaking back below this area of support, then in that case, obviously, at least in the short term, that would be a very bearish signal, likely sending the price down towards these local lows, so closer towards around 2.3k approximately. But for now, that is still the support to pay attention to, as we are still holding above that level. And as for resistance, we do have a bit of resistance in this price range in between around 2550 to 2580, and significant resistance in between 2.7k to 2.8k. In that price range right there, we have major resistance, as I've already been warning about for a long time now on the channel, since before we've seen these latest rejections. But with that being said, zooming into the shorter term on the 2-hour time frame, just like Bitcoin, we've now confirmed and basically flashed an oversold signal here in the 2-hour Ethereum RSI for the first time since around the 23rd of October. And the last time this happened, we did see a bit of a bounce over the next 1 day, followed by some choppy sideways price action over the next 1 day. And then we actually saw a bit more of a dump later on, but that dump actually created a bullish divergence with a lower low in the price and a higher low in the RSI, creating a continued bullish relief later on over the next 1 week, give or take. And so that is the situation right now. Once again, an oversold signal is the opposite of an overbought signal. So an overbought signal is telling us we're running out of room to the upside and due to see a pullback or cool off from all of the bullish price action. But this oversold signal that we're seeing right now on the 2-hour time frame is telling us that very soon, either right now or at some point in the next day or so, we're due to see a bit of a bullish relief, or at the very least some choppy sideways price action. So just basically a break or a relief from all of this bearish price action here, just in the short term once again. But with that being said, taking a look at Solana on the daily time frame, and just like Bitcoin and Ethereum, Solana's also rejecting from critical resistance, which is this price range that I've been warning about over and over again here on the channel, and that's sitting in between around 183 to 187. So for now, that is still acting as very strong resistance. And as for support, we have this price range, which is significant support for the price, which was previous significant resistance, and that's sitting in between around 159 to 163. So it is crucial for the bulls out there to hold this area of support, because if we break back below around 159 with candle closes, for example, on the daily time frame, candle closes below 159, in that case, that would be very bearish for Solana, at least in the shorter term when we're talking about a matter of days or weeks here on the daily time frame. But for now, while the price of Solana is still holding above this area of support, technically speaking, we're still seeing this active inverse head and shoulders pattern, which technically right now is still active because we've not yet broken back below the point of the breakout here, which would essentially mean a break back below this area of support. So like I said earlier, it is crucial for the bulls out there to hold above this area, because while we're holding above this area, things can still remain bullish on the larger timeframes when we're talking about the larger trend and momentum. But obviously during these larger trend, we can see short-term pullbacks along the way up. So for as long as we're holding above this area, we're still looking bullish on the larger timeframes in terms of the larger trend. But in the short term, obviously, we have seen a bit of a pullback as we have rejected from major resistance. And we've also played out this bearish divergence, which I've also been warning about over the last few days here, and has been playing out pretty much perfectly over the last few days in the form of a short-term pullback. But this has helped to reset the RSI from pretty much overbought territories on the 4-hour time frame down to now oversold territories. And this is the first oversold signal that we've seen in quite a while for Solana on the 4-hour time frame. And just like I said for Bitcoin and Ethereum, this oversold signal is telling us that we're now due to see either a slight bounce, so a bit of a bullish relief, or at the very least just some choppy sideways price action in the short term, so a bit of a break or a relief from all of this bearish price action here as the most likely scenario just for the next couple of days potentially, only talking about the short term once again. But obviously we cannot ignore resistance. Even if we play out a slight bullish relief, we can still reject from resistance or struggle around resistance. For example, this price range in between 171 to 173 acting as resistance. And we also have this significant price range, as I said earlier, still acting as very strong resistance in between 183 to 187. And as for short-term support, we do have a bit of support in this price range in between around 162 to 164. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.